Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Run, Pass, and Pint. I'm your host, Carmine Bianco of WagerTalk.com. All right, we're going to mix things up a little bit this week. We recorded an interview earlier on the hot seat with Kelly Stewart. Kelly is the face of WagerTalk and head of media relations. You've seen a lot of her videos on YouTube, on WagerTalk TV. If you haven't, head over to WagerTalk TV on YouTube and check it out. A lot of informative stuff. We put her on the hot seat today. 15 sort of rapid fire questions and 5 true or falses. She kind of surprised me with her answers as much as I surprised her with the questions. Anyways, later on in the video, we will cover a couple NFL games, a couple soccer games, some pre-selections, and what I have up for the weekend. Yesterday, on Tuesday, I had a 5% play in soccer. It was an easy winner with Atletico Madrid, which kind of made me feel a little bit better after a very tough NFL weekend where I went 0-2. I did beat the line on the Broncos-Ravens game. I had the over 43. The game hit 46 by game time. The line hit 46 by game time. We had 24 points in the first quarter, 31 at halftime, and both sides just fizzled out in the second half. We had a couple touchdowns called back on penalties, but a loser is a loser, and that play was a losing play. So we'll get back to it this weekend with a big card. I'll talk about those a little later. We're going to head over to the interview now with Kelly. So sit tight, and we'll be back with some previews and selections. All right, guys, it is time for a new segment here on Run, Pass, and Pint. It is the hot seat, and as you can see with me today is none other than Kelly Stewart. Kelly is the face of WagerTalk. She is head of our media relations. If you didn't know that, I'm not really sure where the hell you guys have been for the last 6 months to a year, but Kelly's doing a fantastic job. Kelly, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Carmine. I'm a little nervous for this hot seat.
Don't worry about it. Just to let you know, I'm literally going to fire off 15 different questions at you. And I literally want you to give me the first thing that pops into your head, or if you actually do know the answer to it. They're not sports so much, they're sports related, but some are not sports related questions. And then we're going to finish off with a quick true or false segment, 5 questions, and I want an honest true or false from you.
Okay.
So you let me know when you're ready to go. You're ready to go?
I'm so ready to go. By the way, is that a Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey?
This is a Fitzpatrick jersey.
I love it. I love it.
Listen, I kind of feel bad for Fitz yesterday. This is being filmed on Tuesday after the Monday night game. He's had 3 fantastic games now. In all honesty, I know he had 3 interceptions yesterday, but I believe 2 weren't really his fault. But that pick 6 into the end zone, that's definitely on him, I think. But three games in a row where he's thrown for 400 plus yards. I saw what he had in Buffalo. He was a pretty good quarterback, but he's also the reason why he's been on 7 different teams, and I think he's and a lot of coaches have been fired because of Fitzpatrick. So
I got to give him that much. After throwing 3 interceptions yesterday, he was still chucking it downfield. I mean, the guy's got confidence. He's got guts. I'm not that ballsy, but hey, they almost made a pretty epic second half comeback.
Yeah, they almost did. I think he deserves. I know James is back. He was back this morning, but I think he deserves to start next week, and and then take it on a game by game basis. But they hit the road for a couple of games now. They go to they go to Chicago next. That's never a great game, especially with Mac there. So it's I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. Two toughies, Chicago and Atlanta. So we'll have to see what happens with Fitz. But let's stop deflecting here and let's go to the 15 questions. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to change the order of these a little bit, but we're going to start with your sports idol growing up.
Oh, sports idol. I don't know if I necessarily had an idol. I played a ton of sports, but obviously being a female, there wasn't a ton of like super awesome female athletes in the late 80s, early 90s. So probably my favorite athlete was John Elway. He's probably the reason why I love football. and definitely got me hooked on this terrible Denver Broncos bandwagon that I'm still stuck on.
Okay, well, that's probably going to take me to another question I had, so we'll just get this one out of the way now. Elway or Brady?
Ooh, come on. As much as I'd love to bag on Brady, Brady is so much better than Elway. Elway did take the Broncos to back-to-back Super Bowls, but in the big scheme of things, Brady.
All right. Jordan or LeBron?
By far, Jordan. Jordan doesn't have to leave teams to win championships. Jordan won championships in Chicago. Jordan.
All right. Best athletes right now in any sport?
Oh.
Tucky.
Athlete's a loose word, but I'm going to say Tiger Woods. Tiger has made the most epic comeback in the last 6 months. I've been really happy for the guy. All political, social, whatever BS aside, I think Tiger is, it's crazy. You don't see athletes usually have just like a crash and burn and be able to rebound like that. All
right. I'm going to throw a soccer one at you because I'm a soccer guy. Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi?
Who's hotter? Heart hands. That's all I know. Isn't that terrible? You know I know nothing. All right. Ronaldo's a good-looking guy, but he's kind of an ass.
Ronaldo, so I'm going to let that one stay because, he now plays for my team in Italy, Juventus, so we're going to stick with that one. All right. We're going to change it up a little bit. Your worst fear.
Worst fear?
Yes, your worst fear.
Oh, probably I don't know, being incapacitated or something, being like a vegetable or I don't know. It's worse than dying. I don't know. That's kind of a crazy question.
All right. Okay. Favorite holiday?
Ooh, favorite holiday. Probably 4th of July, but Thanksgiving is 1A. So 4th of July, America, yes. Fireworks, awesome. Drinking, awesome. Thanksgiving, eat your face off. My birthday, usually drink your face off. So it's kind of a tie.
All right. That's pretty good. Most famous sports person you've ever met?
I've met Jordan. I've met Elway. Let's see. Who else have I met? I would probably say it's probably one of those two. Besides that, I mean, I've met a ton. I've met a lot of really awesome sports guys, but I would say those are probably the two famous.
All right. Super Bowl or March Madness?
Well, in March Madness's defense, I get to do March Madness every single year in Las Vegas. So obviously Super Bowl. I have not been to a Super Bowl yet.
All right. Favorite or worst sport to bet on for you?
Oh, the worst sport to bet on for me is baseball. I hate it. I swear. I had this. Let me tell you about why I hate betting baseball. I had the Marlins. I think they were plus 160 over the summer. They were up 12-0 and lost 14-12. This is why I hate betting baseball.
Yep. I've had those. I bet an interleague game once, leaving Vegas, flying back home, and it was the Cubs and the White Sox. I had under 9, and I got on the plane, and the game went to extra innings, tied at 0, and finished 8-5, and it was absolutely sickening. So yeah, I hate baseball, but we still bet it.
Right.
The biggest wager ever made.
I had 5 dimes on the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl versus the New England Patriots, and that was really, really stupid in hindsight. That was too much of my bankroll. And the cameras were rolling, doing a reality TV show, so I just was like, I'm that confident in the Seahawks. And as we know how that one ended, thanks, Pete Carroll, for not rushing Marshawn Lynch.
All right, your biggest parlay you've ever hit.
Still the
party bettors out there.
Yeah, still the biggest.
I'm not a big fan of them, but guys love them.
Well, I like moneyline parlays. I don't bet 3 teams plus points or minus points on those. I would only do moneyline, and it's still the one that paid 85-1 back, I think in 2012 it was, 2013 maybe, one of those 2 years. It's a distant memory now.
All right, I'm gonna end it with 3 easy questions for you. Okay. Do you have a nickname?
A lot of people now call me KIV a lot, short for Kelly in Vegas. But when I was growing up, my nickname was Stuart Little. My best friend Shalinda gave it to me, yes, after the mouse, because my last name is Stewart, and I'm a little person. And she still calls me Stuart Little today.
All right, okay. The last movie you watched?
I watched the Sicario movie last night, actually, because I couldn't sleep. It was really good.
Oh, my God, come on. I actually rented it off the YouTube movies a couple of nights ago, watched it, and not after, but at the end, I'm waiting for something to happen, and nothing happens. And then later on, my wife says to me, yes, there's a Sicario 3 coming out. I'm like, well, fuck. So I kind of sucked because I was waiting for something to happen, but I kind of wish I got my $20 back for that one. All right, here's a very easy one for you. Your favorite emoji.
Ooh, probably the ones with the little hands. The little happy face with the hands. And then the second one would be the sunglass one.
The little hands. That's kind of like Marco when he's heading to the buffet table. The little hands. He's kind of going back and forth. He's not going to watch
Shots fired!
All right. True or false segment. Here we go. K-State is better than Michigan.
False. God, that's terrible. False.
What?
False.
Really? I had you pegged for true there.
No.
All right.
K-State's miserable.
All right. Filming NFL previews with the Prez is like consuming Mentos and Pepsi at the same time.
I have not done that, but I have seen the video, and yeah, it's something like that, except more laughing and just shaking my head without anything to say. To leave me speechless is really hard, but Prez does it on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's amazing when you can do a video and have a masseuse there. I know it's his better half, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. All right, red wine and Sunday night football at home is better than beer and tailgating at the stadium.
Oh, I think a lot of people think I would say true, but that is false. I do love going to games in person, so beer and tailgating takes the cake.
Beer and tailgating it is. All right. You would give up sports betting in exchange for Hillary never being president of the United States.
Oh, that's true. Let's be honest.
I'm Canadian, so I just watch CNN for 20 minutes at night just to get a laugh about what's going on south of the border. But
oh my goodness, yeah, that's probably true.
All right, true. All right, final one, because I know that some of your Twitter followers will be watching, but you like all your Twitter followers. True or false?
False. That's really hard. There's like 27,000 of them. It's really hard to like everybody. But most of them are pretty good guys, and I like them. I had to block a couple thousand of them, and now that that's out of the way, I generally like, let's call it 90%.
All right. I'm sure some of them have burner accounts, so they kind of repeats over and over again. Listen, Kelly, I promised you wine. I'm coming to Vegas on the 30th of December for 4 days with the wife. I'm bringing a couple bottles for you. That's my thank you for being the first guest on the Rapid Fire show. I'm going to get another WagerTalk guy on next week, but I know you have a busy day, so thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming on, and good luck this week with your Super Contest picks.
Thanks, Carmine.
All right, thanks, Kelly, for coming on the show. I know you have a busy schedule. Again, I appreciate it. That's why I wore the Broncos jersey for you, number 88, Thomas. All right, next invitation will go out to Marco D'Angelo. Marco, you can't hide in Vegas from me. Listen, you want to come on the show, let me know. I'll have some tough questions for you. And if you agree to come on the show, I'll take you out for lunch when I'm in Vegas for New Year's Eve weekend. All right, let's go to a couple of free plays. We're going to look at soccer first. The marquee game of the weekend in soccer is on Saturday in EPL. You have Chelsea and Liverpool playing at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool make the trip over. You look at some of the score lines between these two teams, you're going to see a couple 1-0s, some 1-1s, and quite a few 2-1 results. I am going to go with the over in this game. I actually think that Liverpool wins this game, probably by a 2-1 or maybe 3-1 scoreline. I know Chelsea typically wouldn't lose a game at home by 3-1, and they're one of the teams I did pick to win the EPL title at 12-1. I thought those odds had value in them. You had to take them, but Liverpool's firing on all cylinders right now, and this is even with Mo Salah not having hit form yet. You had Firmino, who's coming back from an eye injury. This team is clicking. They're better defensively. They're better in midfield. And they have a better goalie. If you remember the goalie last year, Carlos, I can't even pronounce his name. All I know is he cost us some money in the Champions League final. We had Madrid to win, and we hit our 2 out of our 3 props. But one of our props was Real Madrid winning 2-1, and it was 2-1 until he let in a goal from about 50 yards out or whatever it was. Anyways, they have a better goalie now in Allison, who they got from Roma this year during the summer transfer window. They're playing much better. I believe they'll also make a very deep run in the Champions League until they run into Juventus. Then they're toast. But other than that, Liverpool, Chelsea, over the total on Saturday. The line is currently 2.5 and 3. I believe the line will sort of trend up to probably like 3 plus 105 come game time Saturday, 12:30. But I do like the over in this one. If you can get it at 2.5, 3 Asian split line, I would take it now if you could. NFL. We're going to look at the Colts and the Texans. Okay, these teams last year, Colts swept the series, but neither Watson or Luck obviously were in the lineup last year. Luck's out the whole year, injured. He's back this year. The Colts are 1-2 with Luck, but he has looked pretty good within a somewhat conservative game plan for him. They're home. I believe they'll put up some points. The Texans are 0-3. Everything that has gone wrong could go wrong. Watson sat out both games last year. He was injured. First game was Savage. Second game was Yates. Both low-scoring games. I like the total in this game, over 47 here. Even if that sounds kind of squarish, I'm still going to go with 47 here and the over. 0-3 teams don't fare well. Listen, 0-3 teams are 2.8% to make the playoffs. Some of the teams that have made it are like Buccaneers, Bills, Lions, Chargers. There's another one, I'm not really sure who it was, but that's 4 of the 5 teams since like 1980 that have made the playoffs after going 0-3 with a 16-game schedule. So the Watson-Hopkins duo, they're getting a lot of fantasy points, but they haven't really connected on these big plays and touchdowns and what have you. So maybe we'll see it in the Dome on Sunday. I hope so. I've got both Watson and Hopkins on my fantasy football team, so hopefully they can do something for us. But we're going to go over the total, 47, Colts and Texans. Guys, follow me on Twitter, Carmine Bianco WT. If there's anything you want covered in one of the upcoming videos or questions that you might have from Marco that you want me to fire off, tweet me or send me a DM on Twitter if he accepts the challenge, him and that black cat of his. I have a podcast that I'll be starting with Nick Borman of Sports Memo. We need a name for the show. Tweet myself or Nick on Twitter. Send us a name that you think would be good for the show. If we pick your name, you'll get a 3-day or 7-day all-access package. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Kelly, thanks for coming onto the show, and we'll see you guys next week.